It's really hot after I was in it.
You sadly were not the hottest one, so.
I gotta get my feet.
Oh my God. Who would like to go first?
Well, apparently my questions are boring, so. Wayne and Debbie need to.
So what was the,
Yes, I know.
what was the worst thing you
What
did
else?
growing up?
When you were a kid.
Naughtiest or
When you were a
craziest thing.
teenager.
Oh, when I was a teenager?
Yeah.
I want to hear these stories, I don't believe.
This is fun.
You know, I wasn't a bad kid.
We didn't ask you
That's
that.
how
That's what everybody says when they sit in that scene that question comes up.
Pete said the same thing.
Here?
No. I'm kidding.
I got kicked out of music class because I stayed in the cooking class too long and was eating peanuts.
That's the worst thing that happened to you.
Okay, what's the worst thing that you did after you turned 21?
Well, narrow down when she's a flight attendant. There's some good
Oh,
stories on that.
yeah.
What's the worst thing you saw on the airplane
Oh, yeah.
when you were a flight attendant?
The worst
The
thing I
naughtiest.
saw.
The naughtiest thing that you saw on the airplane.
Oh, honey.
Small children behind you.
Libby, walk away. Go in the house.
DJ told us a juicy story.
I had this couple. They didn't know each other until they got on the plane.
Wow.
She goes to the back of the plane and she opens the bathroom door. And then she goes like this. So the guy comes up and he goes in the bathroom. And we're tidying up, we're hurrying up because we're going to land here
Yeah.
very, very shortly and so forth. And they were still in the bathroom. So I rapped on the door and I said, you got 2 seconds to come out of there. 2 minutes. I gave him 2 minutes.
Plenty of time.
And I'm opening the door because I can do that.
Mhm.
They finally came out.
Oh my
Oh.
God.
Were they smiling?
Huh?
Were they
Oh,
smiling?
they were smiling.
I don't know. It's only 2 minutes. So
I
we
am
probably
never
just
going to the bathroom on a plane again. You're so
That's
bad.
everybody.
Yeah.
So out of your 3 daughters, who was the one who got in the most trouble?
Debbie. Sabrina.
Cindy.
Sabrina.
What did Sabrina do?
That surprises me.
What did she do that was so naughty?
That surprises you?
She was always in trouble.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, I spent more time at the school than I did at my own job.
I just thought my mom was the naughty one, and you were the goody two shoes, and Sabrina just had to go nuts.
So Sabrina was in the hot seat and she never did anything wrong apparently. 'Cause
Well,
that's what
well,
she
well,
said.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I asked her what to do.
Do share the best Sabrina in trouble story.
And not the one where she was drunk the freshman day and too.
Yeah, we already heard that.
Yeah.
The best what?
The best story when Sabrina got in trouble.
Sabrina got in trouble.
The one that we want to hear. The juiciest story.
Oh gosh. You know, that's a long time ago.
Well, I remember one.
Let's hear it.
Get in the hot seat.
Oh, that's.
The bathtub one.
Oh my God.
Oh, there you go. You just
She got in the bathtub. She's taken a bath. And I don't know if she pretended or what she was
She
doing.
pretended.
Probably pretended. She was great at that. And she started,
She locked the door.
she locked the door, number one. We couldn't get
And we
in.
all,
Yeah. And so then we're knocking on the door to find out if she's
Coming
okay
out.
and coming out of there, or what are you gonna do? Well, she didn't reply and so forth. So we figured she'd gone to sleep.
we're pounding on the
Pounding
door.
on the door. I finally had to go.
I ran next
Cindy,
door.
who's telling the story?
Well, Cindy remembers it. See, I didn't even remember it. So Cindy ran next door and got the neighbor, and he came over, and I don't think he took the door
He
off.
kicked
I
the
think
door
he left
open.
the door
Kicked it in.
open. And then she pretended to wake up.
Oh, God.
Was she just sitting in there in the tub? She was naked in the tub
Oh, that's not awkward.
this whole time, and we're pounding on the door, and she's pretending to be asleep.
Yep.
So Mr. Drager comes
But
over,
I panicked.
kicks the door open, so now we got to replace the door. So we are pissed at Sabrina because we have one bathroom and the door doesn't close.
Oh, that's awesome. Okay, what's your best Debbie story?
Best Debbie story? That'd be such a good
we got the
Their
dog.
dad had gone to Saigon. He had their own business. And so the lady up the street, or I should say up the path, you know, we're in Okinawa.
It was at the top of the
At
hill.
the top of the hill was giving away dogs, puppies. So Debbie decided she wanted this puppy. And of course we have a housemaid, you know. So I was working. So when I get home from work, here's this puppy in the bathtub. And of course it's covered with all kinds of fleas or whatever it had or whatever. And Debbie wanted to keep the dog. I don't think we kept the dog.
No,
No. I don't know if we waited until your dad
I
got
don't
home.
think so. I don't think so.
No, I think we just plain got rid of the dog.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Then there was the dog she hid in the bedroom and was feeding the dog, so that nobody would know she had the dog. She was always bringing stray dogs home.
She does love her dogs.
She's a dog lover. What about Cindy?
And she would,
Oh, you're not done. Go ahead.
oh, Cynthia?
Oh no, finish Debbie.
Well, basically, yeah, it was the dogs, really.
Just all the animals. She was like a pet homeless shelter.
Yes, yeah.
Order.
What's the worst thing my mom did?
Friends.
Yeah, I want to hear Cindy's story.
Yeah. Nothing.
Trouble.
I have to tell you, Cindy was the best of the bunch. Yes.
It feels
But
nice being
anyways,
the best, right?
when she was in junior high school, she was in high school. And of course she was big
Oh, 'cause
in
they're
the
not here.
church group and so forth, okay? But they decided one day that they would skip school. But I did not know about this. So one day she calls me from the school and she's crying, Mom,
In high school.
Mom, I have to tell you something. So she told me the story, how they skipped school. And then she says, now you're gonna protect me, aren't you? And I said, no. I said, if you had done, they said you did something and you did not do it, then I would protect you 100%. But I said, under the circumstances, you did this to yourself. So she cried and cried and cried and so forth on the phone. But eventually I had to reprimand her, and she could not talk on the telephone for a month. And I
We didn't
forget
have
what-
cell phones.
That would kill her today.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I don't know what the other thing was, but I always felt so sorry.
But she had this board.
But I had to do that because I had to let those other two know they couldn't get away with it.
It wasn't because
So you were being an example of.
I confessed.
Yeah, she confessed. No, that was, I always felt very, very bad about that.
Which one of your daughters chased the other daughter with a stiletto heel and cornered him? Who? I remember the story from my mom.
I don't ever remember that.
I
My
didn't
mom
have a
chased
stiletto.
Debbie down.
I think your mother makes up stories.
She told me
Oh,
about a
yeah.
stiletto story.
No, somebody did that. That was on Okinawa.
Yeah.
But I don't remember who it was.
It's one of your stilettos. And
I didn't have stilettos. They didn't have them.
somebody had stilettos. I think she chased
Must've been
you
the housemaid.
because it was somebody was closing her hand in the door, and it was a little bit of a revenge. So she cornered somebody and beat him with stiletto heel.
Aw, sisters.
Oh,
I just remember. I know it happened, but I can't remember who was who.
gotcha. Any other questions for
Yeah.
Manan?
Yeah, what's your biggest regret?
My biggest regret?
Regret. Like something you wish you did that you never did.
Oh.
Or something you did that you didn't do.
Take your pick.
Yeah.
Well, I have to tell you that I had quite a career going for me. And I was given the opportunity to go to Europe and be a concert, be the soloist, and all expense paid. Look magazine was going to be there and cover the story. And so that was my gateway to my singing career.
Mhm.
I sang classical music and opera. And I went down cellar and thought about it and thought about it. And I thought, no. In those days, you could only be a nurse or a teacher or a secretary. Well, I wasn't cut out for any of those. But I thought, if I do that, you can't have a career and a family life. And I would have preferred the family life so that I could have a family. So I came upstairs and I announced to my family that I was not going.
And you regret it?
No, I don't
Now she has
regret
the
it.
No?
No. I'm happy to have the opportunity, but I made the right decision. And my family was so mad at me, I had to move out.
Oh, wow. Wow.
Yep. But I got 3 beautiful daughters.
Yeah, you did.
Sing for us.
Yeah.
Sing us a song.
Oh, I can't.
Oh man,
Okay, if you were, what's your spirit animal? If you could be an animal, what would you be?
I'd probably be a little tiny dog because they get lots of attention.
Yeah.
So funny.
And a hot seat in it?
Yeah,
So,
Nana's
I'm in the
seat,
hot seat.
You got
Hey,
any questions
Nana.
for Nana in the hot
Wait,
seat?
I
got a question.
Oh, hold on. It's my turn. It's my turn.
You're asking too many questions.
Nana, which one of us grandkids drove you the craziest
And which one's your favorite?
when we were younger? Well, we all know I'm the favorite.
I beg to differ.
I am totally Nana's favorite, okay? She won't tell you to your face, but she tells me all the time.
She has a new favorite. Mallory told her that she's that Nana's her
Yes,
favorite
you're right.
person. So Mallory's her
Mallory.
favorite now.
Which one of us grandkids drove you the craziest when we were younger?
You.
It was probably me. I wouldn't be shocked.
Let me think. Whoa. Well, I didn't see Debbie's children a lot.
Yeah. It's about a little more.
You get a free pass.
So man, all of
God.
the craziest thing you
Oh wait, hold on. We still gotta get this. It's between Kyle and I. So.
Yeah, because Cindy's kids came later.
We were great.
And we're
Oh
somewhat
my
behaved.
gosh.
So between Kyle and I, which one drove you the
Oh,
craziest?
I was always so respectful.
Well, she used to like to do dishes and all that stuff. Cute little guy. Oh, God.
Think of his
I'm not here
teenage
to
years.
defend, so-
Teenage years?
Yeah.
That drove me the craziest?
Oh yeah, I don't know. Which grandkid drove you the craziest?
these are leading questions.
Or
You should not
did
be
any
I
liar.
really
grandkid.
did not have any that drove
No.
me
So
crazy.
I have a great
I
question.
loved them all.
Wait, David had a question.
Wait, I think it's the same question. I want to know the craziest story you and Berna ever did together.
Oh yes,
All the sisters.
yes.
Should we make the young
Oh,
Okay,
there were
close
too
her?
many.
Okay.
Pick your favorite.
We have all
I remember one time,
Oh, that's funny.
Let out.
Okay.
no, we did a lot of crazy things.
Okay.
But this time, she was always saying, oh, come on, Olive, we're going over to the Sacramento Inn and sit at the bar.
This is Berna.
Yeah, this is Brenda. And I'd say, but I gotta go home with the kids. The kids are all right, we're gonna go have a drink. So we get over there, and I'm thinking about going home and see my kids, because she strikes up a conversation with the guy sitting next to her immediately. And they get into this conversation, and they're going back and forth. And then he says, your sister doesn't talk much. And she says, well, she has a speech impediment.
All right, if you could be trapped in a room with anybody, whether it's grandkids, daughter, anybody, if you could be trapped in a room with somebody and you had to be trapped in there for 24 hours, who would it be?
My husband.
Hell yeah.
David had a
Easy question.
David, what's your question? Oh,
That was it.
Okay, give us another. Okay, another one. A camp story.
Yes.
A camp story.
Oh my God, those were wild.
Yeah.
Who are you putting at?
Oh,
Me?
they'd all say they're going over town. Well, I was too young. I was still a teenager.
Yeah.
And so they'd go over town. Well, first they'd hit the bar and so forth. And then they'd come home, and we had an ice chest. put ice in one side and you put the food all on the other side. Well, all of a sudden they say, Verna needs an operation. What? Laid her on a table, brought out the ice, put it on her stomach, and everybody is laughing and everything because it was all just a big joke. But Verna's laughing her head off. Or she'd take people's candy bars.
Oh, that's the story I remember.
Oh my
So bad,
God.
right?
I know. Her face totally changed.
Yeah, she'd steal Frank's candy bars. My sister Barbara's husband. And he'd be out after her. And by God, she'd head for the outhouse. We had a two-holer.
Two-holer uptown.
That sounds like the playing bathroom story. Like a love scene.
Was it a side by side or one above the other?
Well, and then, or she and I would be in there because she'd take me with her.
Having a chat.
And so forth. But anyway, and then of course they'd start rocking the
Outhouse.
the outhouse, and Verna's sitting there eating the candy.
Oh, God.
Where's Jack? Right there.
I don't know. I haven't seen them.
Jack and Mike, can you move your cars
Oh yeah.
so Tom can
Sure.
pull out?
That's a good story.
Camp stories were always the
Oh,
best.
camp was a riot. I'm always getting thrown in the lake, clothes and all. Yes.
So funny.
Yeah.
Do you remember the name of your first boyfriend?
Yes, Tommy Cox.
Tommy Cox?
Tom Cox.
Why'd you date
That's
him?
quite
COX.
You don't have to answer
Oh God.
Kiss me goodnight.
Kissed you good night. And he had your heart.
Oh, yeah.
A chickie story.
I know.
What?
I think it's a really good one.
What does that mean?
Hold on, tell him Aunt
Chicky
Sal's
who?
story.
Your friend.
Oh, Chicky Daly?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. She
This was
lived in
back when they
Torrington,
were-
Connecticut.
This is back when they were how old? High school?
She lived in Torrington, Connecticut. She had never left town. And of course, I arrived. I've been all over the place. My mother made sure I went to New York. I saw all the plays. I saw Radio City, and I went to Boston. And I saw all the stage hands, all the stage shows there. My mother made sure I had, everything in my head on that. But anyway, she had never been anyplace, so I convinced her that we needed to go to New York. I'm going to take you to Radio City, and I'm going to take you to Rockefeller Center. I'm going to take you all over the place. We're going down the Bowery. We're going to have a good time.
Wow.
So we went. So we went to see the Rockettes, but we went in, across the street was a hat shop. And of course then you wore gloves and you dressed up and you wore hats and so forth to go to New York. So we got in there and we're trying on hats, and the lady in charge came over and she asked Chicky, please not try on hats. And Chicky kind of looked at her and she said, why? She said, because of pigeon. Put it on your head. Then we went to this restaurant.
That's funny.
We went to this restaurant to eat, and we had a nice meal. But either Chicky had a pork chop or I had a pork chop, whatever. But anyway, it slid off the plate on the floor. And when we got ready to leave the restaurant, her heel got. And we're going out of the store.
With a pork chop on her heel?
That's pretty funny.
So she must have gone back to Connecticut and never left.
She
Oh,
never
no.
went to New York again.
No, then her father wanted to go to Florida, and he didn't have anybody to go with. So we said, oh, well, we'll go. Well, I had a part-time job at the Packard car dealership. But anyway, I asked if I could go, take the time, and she said, well, no. So I said, okay, I quit.
I'll show
So in those days, you put something in the paper. If you were going someplace, or if you were having a wedding shower or anything, you listed everything.
It's like a Facebook post.
Yeah, yeah, there you go.
I'm gonna change that.
It was a precursor
Yeah.
of Facebook.
Precursor of Facebook. There you go.
But anyway, we wanted to see it before we left, so we put it in early. So we went to Florida. We had a grand time for 2 weeks, and her dad took us every place. You know, we saw it all. We saw the beaches. Saw Saratoga, or whatever. Anyway, and then he bought a new Cadillac to go home. So we all sat in the front seat of this Cadillac and drove home.
Oh wow.
Had a good time. Yeah.
So, Nana, we've all had a lot of fun with Aunt Sal. What are some of your best memories with Aunt Sal?
An Aunt Sal story.
Aunt Sal went, well, basically with Aunt Sal, she was always raising kids.
Always raising kids?
She had 4.
She had 4,
Spread out or?
about every 2 years.
Okay.
Huh.
Every 2 years.
Sal had kids every 2 years. I remember when Weezy was born. Yeah, and we were at a cottage down on the ocean, and Sal came with Louise because we all got to hold her and, you know, had a good time. And then 2 years later it was Sue, and then we went to live with Sal and Clint, and because Barb and Frank were going to France and we couldn't go. So we were invited to go there, my mother and I. And then she had the twins. And she didn't know what to do with John, because she didn't know what to do with boys. But I babysat a lot of boys. So I took care of John and she took care of Joe. Yeah. And then she'd come up to the cottage and she'd be mad because she said, I'm on vacation. You could get up and take care of my kids. Oh.
that face.
I said, by the way, I said, listen.
You can get up and take care of my kids.
Yeah, she did. Yeah, she really did.
Yeah, that's awesome.
That was Sal.
You know,
But anyway, I said, when I have kids, I will get up and take care of them. Right now, they're your kids, you take care of them.
Good job.
when we would go out to camp, when she would invite us to go out there, it was just the time of our lives. I mean, we would get so excited to go out there, and some of the best memories that we had as kids were out of that camp.
That's true.
So we were always really appreciative of being able to go up
And my
there.
grandmother's camp.
Yeah,
that?
we love camp.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sal's
We
I was
just,
gonna say Nana's camp, but that
Nana-
would
It was Aunt Sal's camp, though.
Aunt Sal. Yeah.
It
That
was
was-
Sal's camp.
Aunt Sal's camp,
Yeah.
and she would that place would pop like right at dusk. The perch would hit. It's nobody's business. You didn't have to have anything on a lure, man, and you just the second you put it in the water, you catch perch. And I'd cut them all, get them all cleaned up, and bring them to her, and she made a fish chowder that would knock your friggin' socks off. Holy smokes!
So we remember with the fish, just
More than anybody.
Oh my God.
trying to kill the fish before
His brain should not work so well.
So Nana,
What a great place.
what's your greatest achievement that's not tied to your husband and children?
Good question.
Your greatest achievement not tied to your family.
So business, career, whatever.
Being a
Personal.
flight attendant.
Awesome.
Why?
She started so late.
Well, number 2,
And when did you start that? How old were you when
I
you
was
started?
62 years old. I was the oldest one Alaska Airlines ever hired. Yeah, and I flew for 10 years.
And on the cover of their magazine.
Yeah, Nana.
I was on the cover of their magazine.
Alaska magazine.
No, she was in.
Oh, they
You had
did
an
the
article
article.
on you.
Yeah.
Remember the article?
Did a big article. Yeah. Oh, I should have brought that article.
Yeah,
I'll
yeah.
read that for my.
It wasn't about you today.
No, it wasn't about me.
It was about Bubba.
Yeah.
Bumps.
Loved it. I got away with a lot because I was older. And this lady over here, she made sure I knew.
Partner in crime.
Yeah.
So I have to say, my favorite thing is Olivia had a T-Law game, and this woman was a flight attendant with Alaska Airlines. And I go, oh, my grandmother was a flight attendant. Her name's Olive. Olive Gottschalk? I know Olive Gottschalk. I used to fly with Olive. Hey, come over here. You have to meet more of our flight attendant friends. You were very well known.
Every time we fly Alaska, we always bring up your name. And if they don't know you, we're like appalled about it. We're like, what do you mean you don't know me?
Well, that was getting to be a long time ago, and now,
Right.
now those people fly to all the good places.
Right. Would you say that you met probably some of the best people?
Oh,
in that?
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you ever have any celebrities on your plane?
Yeah.
Who was your favorite celebrity that flew on one of your flights?
Probably Pat Boone. No, Suzanne Summers.
Suzanne.
Who was your least favorite?
Thigh master lady.
Who was the nastiest celebrity on one of your flights?
It was really rude.
I didn't have one.
You didn't have any nasty
That I
celebrities?
knew of. Some of the younger ones, they didn't even.
Kate.
Oh, I know who it
Oh.
was.
Oh,
Here we
I know
go.
what's coming.
Yes. Jude, what's her? The mother of the Judes.
Oh.
Winona.
Oh,
I'm not surprised by that.
I remember. I knew there was someone.
You could not talk to me.
Yeah.
Really?
You were told you could not talk to me. You could not talk to her.
Wow.
And how'd that work for you?
It didn't work well at all.
Wait, so you've already said that she's your partner in crime. What's one of your best stories with Anne?
Yeah, what's that?
telling any of
Tell the one about driving down I-80, going home to Fernley. Hello, what bar did you go to?
Oh, yeah.
Let's hear it, Nana.
On your way to Fernley,
Like the purple
you
organ.
pass, what's the name of that place?
Mustang Ranch.
Mustang Ranch.
Well,
No,
it's
Wild
down a
Horses
little
or
bit
something.
more, yeah. But they
Oh, the
own
Bunny
it.
Ranch, yeah.
Yeah, but anyway,
Are you seriously? Yeah.
so I've always wanted to go there. 'Cause
Oh,
I've heard groups of ladies that go there and have dinner and they get a tour.
That's what they do.
Nana, Nana, what year was this?
And,
What year was this, Nana?
2 years ago.
what year?
Are you still flying then?
Yeah, it was probably like, it's gotta be 10, 12 years ago.
Oh, it wasn't that far back.
It had to be, 'cause you were still flying.
Yeah, well, anyway,
Yeah,
never
you black
did
blanket,
stop,
remember
never
that.
did stop.
Oh.
Ann and Mike, we pick them up at the airport. We got Ben and Mike in the back seat, and Ann and I are in the front seat. I'm driving. And I said, over here we have such and such. And I said, gosh, I've always wanted to go there. Ann says, well, let's go.
It took her no time to turn that wheel so fast.
So we turn the wheel, we go down the road, we have to talk through the speaker.
Uh-huh.
And what do you
And the
want?
Golden Gate.
Red flashing light.
Yeah,
The
all
Golden Gate.
Yeah, the Golden Gate, and then they meet us at the door to determine if we can go in or not. It was really nice in there. They have a nice bar, they have a place where gals can sing if they want to, perform for us.
Were they
And-
singing?
There was a pole and a rotating red light.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, the red one.
And Ben is sitting there thinking, if my family knew I was here, he said, they'd be praying for me for the rest of their life.
I thought of Ben today, and he also said, wonder if somebody sees me in here. And I said, well then, what are they doing here too?
So then it comes time for the lineup and so forth, and all the girls have to go through the door. They're inside by then, and then the guys go in to take their pick, you know. So after that, the lady comes over and she says, would you like a tour? So to Ann and I, they didn't let Mike and Ben go.
They were going to. I thought they were kind of afraid to go.
Huh?
I don't think they wanted to go.
No.
I think they had that offer. Was it just us?
I did not get that offer, trust me.
Oh, we would have gone.
So Ann and I go in, we see where they have their, you know, they treat them very well. They have their own
Private quarters.
private quarters and so forth. They have their dining room, good food and so forth like that. And then we got to tour a lot of the rooms. Yeah, and lady told us all about those rooms. Yeah, fancy couches, you know.
Jungle room.
Yeah.
The jungle room with all the wild animals.
Yeah.
Very classy.
Did anybody use the pole? Anybody use the pole?
Did anybody use, I don't remember. Did anybody, nobody used the pole, did they?
Yeah, they did. When the owner's daughter was singing, the girls were dancing on it.
Oh, okay.
But they had short shorts on and crop tops.
Oh, that's
And then we saw where they go in and they make their negotiations, and then
Right.
they go out to this room and there's a cashier out there, so
Yeah.
they do the cashier stuff and then do.
Well, what
Were you
you
guys
negotiated?
able to hear what a typical cost of something like that was? Just out of curiosity.
Just wondering, Reggie.
asking for a friend.
How far of a drive?
I know a guy.
Asking for a friend.
Yeah, I don't remember.
No, I was just wondering.
Well,
I mean, is it a couple
Hold
hundred,
on.
a couple thousand?
I think Mike knows.
no, we never heard the answer to that, but while they were in there on the tour, they came and asked for another drink, so Ben and I ordered a cold Heineken. So they came up and we paid for the Heineken, they came back and said, I'm sorry, the price is more. I said, oh, the price of Heineken just went up, huh?
Now, what'd you get? Get a Heine. I mean, a Heine.
So
Yeah.
funny.
And they had a special door where they had special people that came in. Yes, unbeknownst to who was there.
In case you wanted to see it, like the
Yeah.
governor, you know,
Bus
you know, the
game.
governor in Nevada.
Yeah.
Fancy schmancy, yeah.
So anyway, we got to tour the whole thing, had a good time, went home. Anybody else in the hot seat?
No, there's chairs over
We like you on the
Well,
hot seat.
Nana, I want to thank you for being in the hot seat. You were very open and thorough. You did not hold back, and we appreciate that. She picked the next
First, I want to make an observation. Ann and I were just in London.